Hello, everybody. Welcome to Perspective. You have your girl, Pam, and I'm going to give it to you my way. I'm giving to you my perspective. And make sure you go ahead on and share this video right now to your pages.
All right. You got Carlos Mack every week giving it to you raw, giving my perspective. Who do we have as a guest today?
Well, my name is Nick Payne. I am the CEO of Something Nice Entertainment, Something Nice Footwear, Something Nice Entertainment Television. Originally from Hickey, Mississippi, but raised in Pasadena, California.
Okay. And who's our next guest? Tell us who you are, brother, and what you got going on.
My name is Marco Ivy. I come with the automotive detailing and lawn care service. You know, here to influence and help other brothers to let you know that you can do your own thing on your own. Never be scared to believe in yourself and just pursue and go ahead and get your issue.
That's right.
Okay. That sounds really good. So, Mr. Nick, tell us how you got started with your business and who's your biggest influence?
Well, you know, I never thought in all my life I'd be where I'm at today because I didn't see myself as an actor, but I did a few things in my 20s, like music videos. I've danced on Soul Train like in the 90s, and but I think growing
you
up,
danced on Soul Train.
Yeah.
Nick,
I danced on Soul Train like in the early 90s, like 92, 93.
What? No, Nick. So how was that experience?
It was fun. Walk out and started watching it on TV and then being in the studio at Paramount Studio. It was crazy.
Oh wow. So you said what tell us more about.
So I did that. I've been in like maybe four or five music videos here between California and Las Vegas. And in 2015, my last stop was Las Vegas. So I built my acting career, my entertainment company, my shoe company within 5 years, from 2015 to 2021, my whole brand.
Oh wow. So you with your shoe company, you design the shoes? With your shoe company, do you design the shoes? I said, with the shoe company, do you design your own shoes?
Yes, I design my own shoes.
Okay, wow. So do you want you go ahead and put that information in the comments? I mean, I know that we have like your entertainment name and all that stuff, but if you have a link or anything like that people can, reach you, make sure you put that in the comments so people can know how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, I'd have to grab the link and send it to you and by messenger, but you have it.
Okay, sounds great. So, Mr. Ivy, so tell us about, what made you start, your own business? Like, what inspired you? Was it a pandemic? What was it?
It was just a need to try to see if I can have my own thing. And with the job that I had going on, they telling me that I couldn't have time off when I wanted to. But, I was trying to give it a chance to see if I could pursue myself, but they made it seem like, it was either them or me. So I chose myself. I believe in myself and what I knew, and I've been successful ever since. I influence everybody. Give it a try.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what's up. So, how can people reach you? Are you via just Facebook? How can people reach you and say, "Hey, I want a detail"? Do you pull up? Do you have a location? Tell us about that as well.
I offer services. I'm a mobile detailing, full detailing car service. I come to you at your convenience. Like I said, I started out on Facebook, but I leave all of my information, a contact number where you can just call and contact me. We do by appointments, and like I say, I pull up to your convenience. So wherever you at, if you stay in an apartment, then I also have a location where you can come to me. I offer lawn care services, and I cut hair as well. You know, you can see how it's a little tight up. So whatever you need, just entrepreneurship. I just, like I say, I influence everybody to have your own mind. Believe
So
me.
Ivy, you gonna cut their grass, cut their hair,
cut their hair,
wash their
and
car.
detail their car. That's right.
Look how that.
Not just wash cars. Like I said, let me
detail.
get this right. I detail cars. I'm trying to give you that brand new car back. I don't, no matter what the kids done did to it or how long you done had it for your lack of care. When you leave from me, then it's gonna be like it came off the showroom floor. So
that sounds really, really good. I'm so honored to have you guys on here. You're both doing your own thing. Carlos, you have any questions for these guys before I go on to the questions of the day?
No, these are positive guys. They're doing their own thing. You got to salute that always. So let's see what you got. I'm itching to see what you trying to get into today.
Okay, so the question of the day is, how important it is for us to feed our community positive vibes, like feed our community positivity. You know what I'm saying? We oftentimes, you see where, because it's like this, whatever you feed a child, whatever you feed them into their body, into their mind, that's what they're gonna have. If you feed your child junk, they will eventually get sick. If you feed your child junk in the head, eventually they'll become that junk that you feed them. So how is it important as a man, is it important to feed your children, feed your community, feed your women, whatever? That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right. Do we feed our community? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No. See, my whole thing, I take my success literally because I want to give back to my community, my city, my friends, my family, my church, like my high school, my boys club. So I've worked hard for the past 5 years, and I tell myself I want to make the world laugh again, bring back funny, because between the pandemic, the Black Lives Matter, and as a Black man coming up, I want to give back. So I understand, even though I don't have children, I have a nephew. So, my nephew, he watches my Instagram. My mom was like, your nephew is watching Instagram. Be careful what you put on. I said, okay. So I saw him watching my Instagram, sorry, because he's watching me, and they're in Atlanta. So I'm a role model.
So that means they're watching you everywhere. That there's no limitation with what's going on today, with how you can reach people all over the United States, all over the world, because of social media.
Right.
So, Carlos, Ivy, what you think? I mean, y'all throw something up in here.
Well, we've got to let the man finish talking, Pam. Goodness gracious. Do you want me to railroad him? You always say I'm over talking people. I'm trying to give a. All right.
No, I mean, it's fine. I just want to give back to my community, my friends. That's all. Something simple. It's all good. Make money. Yeah. Ivy, I know you got something to say.
Yeah, I do. But from my perception, it's to get it started back at the roots thing. We got to catch them at a young age, and so now, from what I'm understanding, it's about programming. Everything that we've learned, we've been, you've been programming some kind of way. So now that you know that everything that you is up here is from your influence, let's influence the youth at an age when we can and show them how to get money, how to be a business minded, how to be an entrepreneur. My thing is, we're taking time out to try to program each other. That's my best way to get it. I would start from where it begins.
It definitely begins with the kids. Just to piggyback off of that. So, the question to me is, how do we feed the community? Meaning, who's going to be feeding the community? Who are we talking about? We're talking about affluent guys. We're talking about people that are actually making moves in the community, or we're talking about parents. As far as feeding the community, like what are we talking about?
Well, I was talking about just you as a man, me as a woman. Like, what am I doing? I mean, even the things, and I'm going to throw this out there too. When it comes to, like, I know we talk about music before on this platform, but when you have positive music or positive things, those things are not getting played, or not getting seen, not getting heard. But when you have music that's talking about killing another black man, when you calling a black woman a bitch, then when the black woman is calling herself that word, like, what are we feeding ourselves, and what are we feeding our community? If I'm driving down the road and my son watching me and I'm saying, "Hey, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a bad bitch," what is that telling him? Oh, I need a bad bitch, but my mama a bad bitch. Well, how are we feeding our children, and what do we need to do better with giving them positivity? You know,
let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
Even down to what we're listening to. But you can just take that and go around with it any kind of way.
Okay, so when we talk about, you know, all the negative stuff that we got going, I like to play devil's advocate. That's my thing. I just like to give all the different angles or perspectives. We got an opportunity to be whatever we want now. Nobody's complaining about any other community, white community, whoever, Chinese, whatever, making a movie that's about horror, about killing up or gangsters or whatever. Everybody else can be the different parts of their own community. And we're at a point now where we're playing different parts of our own community. But if you're choosing to harp on one part of that, you know, as a family or as a parent, allowing just that part, it would be the same as a white family allowing their child to just watch horror movies or just watch, you know, something negative. Well, it's just basically, it's not really that we only talk about negative stuff in our music and our entertainment.
Keep it all in balance.
Wait, go ahead. Which one?
You got to take it all in. Like I said, it's not just only thing that we listen to. You know that as you, as a parent, as a mom, you're gonna have to compete with the world. So you got to make sure that the social influence doesn't get ahead of what your influence is. And if you think you can't influence enough by yourself, then you still can provide other influence. But me and my son went out the other day, and he was telling me a nice neighborhood that we went in to do cars in, that he liked them houses. So that further lets me know that's something that catches his attention. You got to allow them to see certain influences if you want them to be led in certain directions. Like you say, it always goes back to what you said in the beginning. Whatever side you decide to feed, and that's what's gonna grow. If you allow all that negative music to keep getting in you and you don't get nothing else, and that's all you see, then you pretty much that's the person you become. But if you see positive influence, and not to want people to think that money rule the world is everything, but you show me a positive way to get money and I'm able to live financial free, it gives me a better, you know what I mean, influence. It's all about influence. Like I say, you program it. That's what I always go back to. You taking time out to pre-program the mind. Give them the program. If you give them nothing but negative and you wonder why they came out like they came out, and we got to own up sometime as a parent ourselves though.
Right. And one of our comments said that we don't control the media. But we may not control the media, but we also control what comes within our homes, and what we can dictate what we have influencing within our own community. I really do believe that as I feel like we can't just ignore the negative. We can't just say, oh, okay, we're doing great, you know, because white communities, they really they bring it in, you know. Other communities, they bring it in, they take out the negative, and they focus on the positive things. They focus on what's going to be good for their children, and they really try to make sure that they weed out the negativity when it comes to their communities. But we embrace the negative, just like, I mean, and I don't, in a way that's a good thing, in a way that's a bad thing. So we've turned the word nigga and we've embraced that word. We've made it a good thing, but that's not really a good thing. Go ahead.
I want to say that, you know, knowing from the city that I have seen it, you're a product of your environment. You know, like I said, you have to have some stand-up people to be able to take yourself out of that environment. You give them a better chance. And like I said, I just always on the influence. If you give them, everybody got, I guess, what would you call it? I can't even find the word for it. Opportunities. Different people have different opportunities. So everybody can't say just because you're doing such progress, that I can just do the same thing because I don't have the same options that you have. I don't have the same people riding for me that you got riding for you. You know what I mean? So it just basically make the positive influence stronger than the negative influence. Me being a Libra, like I say, I just like to make sure I keep life at a better balance. I can't not take none of the bad and I can't take all of the good in because too much of anything ain't good for you. We all know that. So you just got to be a balance in who you choose. You know who's watching you. You know your little ones watching you. You know if your auntie or your sisters or your brothers watching you. So when you can be mental of to be an influence, then just try to get that good vibe out.
So Nick, let me ask you a question. Do you think that we have any influence on the media, or do you think that that's just all external stuff? We have no control over that. You being in the entertainment, the closest one I would think on this platform to some sort of connection to the media, so to speak.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think we have control of the media because I deal with media, being an actor and switching from actor to a producer, casting agent, have my own company. Yeah, I don't think we control it. I still speak my mind, but yeah, I don't think we control the media in my mind.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that was kind of a loaded question on my end because I actually think that the whole purpose of the media is to entertain. So whatever makes them dollars or gives them attention. So really, that attention comes from us. We actually dictate what they're going to put out there inadvertently. So what I mean is that we actually are controlling the media by choosing to tune in on negative stuff or choosing to tune in on Trump or choosing to, that's us controlling the media, so to speak. Now, the way that they spin it's like a reciprocal. It goes back to us too. So some of the ways that they spin it can make us start feeling a certain way and moving a certain way too. So it works the same way, but we do have some control. They're not going to do anything without us being interested in it. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry. My thing is, I feel like we need to start having some solutions within our communities. Like we really need to start figuring out how we can feed our kids with positivity. And this is what one of my friends said to me the other day because they watched our show last week and we were talking about transgenders, and playing sports and all that stuff. And they said they starting to get to a point where we're not going to even have a gender role. It is going to be like, it's not going to be any gender. Like when you go into the store, it won't be a boys section or a girls section because they feel like that's discriminating against sexes. Okay. I have a different perspective on that, but what was said was we're getting away from God and religion and all that kind of stuff, that we're getting away from it. And because we're getting away from it, all these different factors are coming into our communities. So how can we balance this? How can we constantly feed our kids positivity when it's so much negative? Like we don't want to discriminate against anyone, but we also want to show them core values. That makes sense?
I don't think it's going to ruin. I don't think we're going to go so far as the genders just merge all together. Yes, we get more.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, our community is getting more and more accepting of all these different things: transgender, gay guys, gay just in general, being a lesbian is getting more. It's actually getting very popular right now, and it's popularized by mainly music and our entertainment. It makes it very, very popular in social media also. So that being said, we have control over all these things as parents. We can sway this stuff, but we giving our kids so much freedom. I mean, you can look at what's the young man that
Dwayne
chose
Wade,
to be transgender at like 14.
Son.
Right. He's a guy. I don't But you're not gonna make me change my pronoun. If you start out as a guy and you ain't genetically altered, so whatever you do to your body doesn't change the fact. If I chop my arm off, I'm still.
Let me ask you a question on top of that question there. How do you guide the kids without handcuffing them to make them do so much. Because, you know, like, it's a different generation now. We're not that beat up by our kids and just be so hard like the mom, you know, like our grandma then was. Now we have some kind of compassion for the kids. So how do you move forward and still give those core values? And like I say, Pam, I see you playing basketball. You know, they didn't do stuff like that back then. So now that we are being more,
they didn't do what? Like, what did you say about playing basketball? You said it
like
didn't
I say, you know, as far as you were saying, influencing the kids have more. They more on a level to where it's not so much as kids stay in their place now. Kids think they at a level with adults. They get to be 15, 17, and they think they just as grown as somebody 40 or better. And that's it's true. Like, how do you talk to them to show them to stay in their place and still, because you have to have a relationship with them. How do you have your relationship with them and still be disciplined at the same time?
I honestly think that I think we've overcompensated for the friendship with the child thing. I don't have any 12-year-old friends, and I don't have a 12-year-old. I'm not gonna have. I know what you're saying. You got to stay connected, but I look at it more of a mentor or a coach situation, like that type of situation as a parent. Sometimes our coaches who are hands off, they can't beat your child, are tougher on your child than you are. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things.
They told me that I took being a daddy too far. How is that possible?
You said I said that, or
no. He was saying that
they said that.
I took being a daddy too far.
Like how? Like what? I don't. What do you mean?
I'm disciplined. I'm firm on what goes on in my house.
The coaches said that.
No, I'm just saying as my kids, you know, I try to discipline and lead, but at the same time, I still want a relationship with them. You can't just go hard like they went back in the days, like just get a bag, the child upside the head, and then they don't say nothing about it and love you.
The problem is we don't went from one extreme to the other. Like, you want to be these parents nowadays. First and foremost, get the discipline down. We're the only culture right now. Well, not even the only culture, because white coaches, but they've kind of perfected it. We've gone to the other extreme of letting these children talk and walk like they're adults, and they don't know anything about life just yet. We're letting them make decisions and not guiding them. I don't care if you need to be a very tough parent and your child, you're not the favorite on your child's list. To me, that's second. If you're acting like you're supposed to act, then we can be cool. But if you're not, my first job is to strengthen your mind and get you ready for this world, not for us to be besties and you go out and act like a fool.
Right. But at the ages between 15 and 18, they almost to the point where, you know, you can guide them, but don't get on the wrong side because they almost their own individual.
That's like, exactly right. That's what I'm saying. Like, by that time, it's too late. I'm not talking about you waiting until 15, 16, 17 to discipline. I'm talking about from the very first, like from whatever on up, when they're born on up, you having structure and you saying and meaning what you're saying. And then by the time
stages though,
but by the time
to the teenager,
look at the difference. Look at the difference in
young adult.
But look at the difference in extreme structure and how much different we are versus the way they are. So which do you think is more effective in raising a sane adult and not somebody that think the world is supposed to get handed to them?
Wait, I'm going to say this. I understand what y'all saying, but you got to have balance. Yeah. You got to have balance. I'm not saying you got to be their friend, but you got to be able to get through them because we are dealing with children on a whole different level. They have influences that we were not influenced by. We were not influenced by so much of the media, so much of TV shows, social media. All of those things are influencing our children. And when they become a certain age, we have to tread softly in a sense because we can actually push them out there to do something that we don't even want them to do because they already
look. If you're a soft parent, if you're a soft parent in the beginning and you have no control of your parent over your child, by the time absolutely,
it don't have anything to do with
because I dethrone it. You have people and parents that went straight up all the way home for their kids. His kids still grew up and did a whole. So I don't know where little Johnny got that from. I don't know why he did that.
Make money, Ivy.
That's what I
listen.
That's so true.
Look, listen. Y'all talking about the extremes to the rule right now, okay? What I say on this show, I say this all the time. I say, do not use the exceptions to the rule to prove the rule. If normally, what makes sense? Normally, if you raise your child not to be a dope dealer, not to be a gangbanger, that they're going to be, even if they stray off the path. Even if they stray off the path, they're not going to go as far as some kid that you just allowed to do whatever the heck they wanted and become themselves. It's going to be. They're going to be a lot more contained, even if they do go off the path, just like a church kid.
We get that there has to be a foundation. We're not talking about the foundation. We're talking about once they get that foundation and they start getting influenced.
They're not getting the foundations, in my point. You can't even touch your child.
Kids go to school. I don't care what, Carlos, when you went to school, I'm just saying you have the perfect parent.
Be careful, because
you have the worst parent.
I had a pretty disciplined life coming up. So what you gonna say? When I went to school, what?
So you can't do that no more, though.
You live life perfectly. I guarantee you was drinking before the age of 21.
Yeah, I went to college also. I had my own things. I wasn't living in my mama's house drinking her. That's for damn sure. I wasn't living with my mom and allowed to do that.
With the foundation.
How does that not have anything to do with it?
I mean, that do have something to do with the foundation. But I'm saying you know that's wrong, but you still did it. You know your mom wouldn't like it.
But I'm gonna tell you, listen, you didn't listen to what I said. I said you take the church child, preacher child, all these. Yes, they may not be a pastor when they grow up, but if they get the core values, they're not going to stray but so far morally. Even if they go out there and you think
kids are the worst kids.
Okay, but I guarantee you, they're not the worst kids. The worst kids they're not the worst kids. The worst kids are from the parents who just didn't give a damn and barely took care of their kids. Those become the worst kids. And they get subject to the street.
He said, y'all ain't let him talk. He said, hold on, bump this.
But the worst case, see, look, we gotta look at this realistically. Y'all like to bring in all this extreme circumstances on what's going on. My daughter can still turn into a hoe if I lock her down hard and I was hard on her and didn't let her go out with boys until a certain age. Yeah, she could if you don't talk to them. But
all the hoes I know, well, a lot of them from the hood too.
I know how you was raised, Pam. So again, be careful.
Hoes. I know a lot of people that was raised good. They was loose as a goose.
That's because their parent was not strict. Look, bro. That's because their parents allowed them to date, allowed them to go to these things, and allowed them to sneak out the house and didn't.
So you really think the parents know everything the child knows?
You need to know everything they do. Everything.
You will never know everything they do. We talking about adults.
Now, back in the day when we were growing up, it was harder to track us. You can track the hell out of your child, right? There is absolutely no excuse why you can't know what your child is doing, who they talking to. You're just being lazy at that point. Back in the day, how you gonna trick a kid? You gotta yell out the door. Now you can call their phone, you can see where they at. I don't want to hear it. There's no way in hell you can't track your child. You know how fast they going in the car now? Everything. There's no way you can't track this child. We just in a different age where, oh my God, Mom, get out my room.
Hold on.
Oh my God, shut my door, all that crap. She took it off the hand.
My thing is, Nick, you're gonna let you talk. Hold on. But my thing is, if you tracking your child down so bad, apparently your parenting skills ain't that good.
You went to extreme. You told them don't go extreme now. That's way out there.
Yes, that is out there. Put Vernon Bush comment on the screen, please. Can I get a request? Yes, the first 6 years are the most important. Your brain is like a open software being written. It's mush. It's like peanut butter. But the point I'm making is that I see so many kids in early ages getting treated like with kitten gloves. No other culture does this crap. Chinese, Jewish, whoever with a structure.
How old is your oldest child?
What do you mean how I know? I know all different types of people.
How old is your oldest child?
I'm just joking, Carlos.
My oldest child is 19.
And it was no different from the first 6 years to the 15 and 19.
There's absolutely a difference. That's because you, as a parent, you start getting lazy. You don't have the same energy that you had with the first one. But that's not what I'm talking about. And you get better. You get more precise about what you know you want to do sometimes. But what I'm saying is that you have to have the structure, stern structure first. Just like I've seen little babies, they 3 years old, or 4 years old, or 5 years old. They'll run out in the street. Their mom's like, come here right now, right? They're like, fuck you, mom, throw up the thing and keep it moving and get hit by a car or go out in the street because you don't have no control over your child. And the biggest safety that you can have over your child is control. And I mean verbal control. I mean being able to say, right now, I mean do this, and they do it. If not, you're putting your child in danger, straight up. Now, when you wait 15 and start trying to, oh, they too big, they looking down, they ain't cute no more.
It ain't always that easy. You gotta come back soon. Like you said, look,
I'm not saying it's easy.
It ain't always just you stop and then I stop. But kids ain't raised like these days. Them kids, you gotta put your foot down.
They look,
and it don't make you a star parent just because that child still goes up and does that. Because I got a grandchild.
It absolutely does.
I whoop her every day. And do you think she get enough whoopings? She go do the same thing.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's not about the whippings. It's not about whippings. Don't. Okay, let me make sure I'm clear. I'm not saying beat the shit out your child and get hauled off to jail. Excuse my French, Pam, but you popped it off first with a couple of niggas. Sure. But anyway, I'm not saying kill your child. I'm not saying abuse your child. No, verbally, physically, etc. What I'm saying is have discipline. Meaning you say something the first time, whether it's timeouts, whether it's whatever, be structured. Because if you give back, if you let the child push you back, they already got the upper hand and they're gonna use it. That's human nature. You can be the nicest person in the world. Somebody get too nice, you're gonna run over them. That's how I go. And the child is no different. We don't have structure. We don't know how to raise our children without being over and waiting until we angry and beat the crap out of our child. So I'm saying if you got structure the whole time, you don't go there.
Look, this is what I'm. I'm
gonna take it back. Okay, it's timeouts, homie. Whatever. Nick, just make sure it's.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Nick, what you have to say, Nick? You gotta jump in because these boys from Georgia.
Man.
These Georgia boys, they ain't trying to listen to me, are you?
No, I know. I didn't want to interrupt anything. I'm listening. I was trying to talk, but they were going in.
All right, go ahead, brother. What you got?
No, I was raised by Southern parents, originally from Mississippi. So my parents were very strict, but they were proper. You know, my dad is a chef from Louisiana. My mom is from Mississippi. She went to school at Alcorn State, very smart. So I was raised, cook, clean, take care of household the Southern ways. So I get it. My mom and dad ruled with an iron fist. My mom's a Leo and my dad's a Gemini. And I'm a Virgo. My brother's a Libra.
Gemini, what's up? I'm sorry, carry on.
Okay. So, my mom, you know, I went to private school all the way through public school, English, you know, to straight narrow. So, I had my bad moments, but at the end of the day, I have a younger brother, I have a nephew, so I get it. So, I don't believe in beating a child, because I have too much respect. But at the end of the day, I was raised, and my brother was raised properly. Even though we had our ups and downs, our highs and lows, we're still here. And our parents are still alive. So I have to respect to my parents for raising us right. You know what I mean?
So, yes. Here's my thing. Why we got a problem whipping the kids these days? What the hell is going on? This is a pandemic. Nobody spanks their kid.
I
see it in the comments. Oh, what you say? You do what?
I tear them up daily.
Exactly. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like this, I'll give you a great example, y'all. If y'all let me give y'all this example. With my children, my boys, and the mama's not going to admit this now. They think that they did everything, and I ain't had no influence on the child. But I would get a call. I would be on the road. I would be 1,000 miles away from these children. And these moms would be so fed up and this and that, and just can't get it, can't discipline them. And they would call me and say, talk to your daddy. The child would be terrified to get on the phone just to talk to me. And I'm not talking terrified like, oh, I'm scared my dad's gonna, you know, abuse me. It was just the verbal consequences of talking to me. I don't even remember the last time I don't remember the last butt whipping I had to do, because when I said it, that was it. That's your warning. That's it. I rarely had to get to the next step of spanking them. But their moms had
I agree.
Because they knew their mom's word wasn't bond. It was garbage.
I agree with what you say, but I still think every situation is different. Like, we have parents that did the utmost that they could, but somebody slipped through that crack. Like, that's what makes some good and some bad. And it had nothing to do with
either you allow the community to have too much access to your child, either you allow somebody in the family with the wrong influences, either you were the wrong influence, or either the child, or either you're not balancing these things out.
No. Like you said, you got some exceptions to the rule. Those are some exceptions to the rule.
Okay, but then I know
for a fact. Okay, hold on. I know for a fact there are some bad parents. I mean, I know these people. I grew up with these people. Mama wasn't never around. Daddy wasn't around. Them kids raised themselves, and I know some of them have come out being great people.
Some of them. Most of them. Hold
on. That's why I said, when you have some great parents, they have done everything they could do. You have some of them that slip through the cracks, like Ivy said, and they be bad in jail. It ain't what the parents did. Because on the other hand,
well, then why we try then, Pam? Why we try?
The point is, where
these kids can raise themselves and they individuals as make money said. No.
Because
you are using the exceptions.
About majority.
You're using the exceptions. You're bringing up the exceptions.
I just want to catch I want to understand where do we catch them at?
The rules. Huh?
I want to understand where do we catch them at? Because like you say, the first 6 years, those are cute adolescent years. That's cool. Right. It's when they get the social influence. Now that, I'm gonna just give it, because I'm a younger parent, so understand that, like, I'm not disagreeing with any of y'all, because I understand where you come from, Nick. I understand where you come from, Carlos. Pam, you understand from how y'all age range. But now we're transitioning to a new age range.
Right.
So where I'm younger and my daughter is 20, but she has a grandchild. So I'm still giving how y'all was raised. Yeah, if I could speak it and put it on how y'all was raised, then that's how I would want to raise them. But they have just as much knowledge, and by me being, I like to call myself enlightened, I'm giving them knowledge as well. So now they're not moving like somebody who's far behind. They already ahead of their classes and in school. They're moving like young adults. So how do you catch somebody who think they're ready for, the world? At what point do you catch them? It's not like, I'm not saying that anything is wrong, but it's all about the influence that you allow them to have.
So when you say catch them, when you mean, when do you catch them? Because I'm saying catch them from the jumps, like do it from 2 years old. From 2 years old, a child at 2 years old understands empathy. He understands consequences, good and bad. A 2-year-old will cuss you out. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay, out of 4 kids, how many of those kids you think you can raise to do exactly what you say, as in profession and go, if you stay military, out of 4 kids, how many of your kids could you raise from 2 to go to the military?
I'm not saying that I can do that. What I'm saying is that your job is to lower the risk, to try to keep them in as in the best shape as you can. You can't guarantee anything, but that don't mean don't be a parent, because no, you're not. No, you're not. Yes, you're not. You're saying, well, anything can happen. So why try?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
No, I didn't say you said it. I said it.
About what I said. Go ahead, Nick.
I didn't say you said it.
What I'm saying is, I have to go pretty soon. I don't want to die you. Are we almost done?
But Nick.
Oh man, we got like 20 minutes.
We're gonna let you go, Nick, because you've been quiet anyway. Nick, tell everybody about your business, what you do, and how they can reach you. Go ahead, Nick.
No. Nick,
we're gonna let you go. Boom. Nick, tell everybody about you. One more time before we let you go.
Okay. My name is Nick Payne of Something Nice Entertainment, Something Nice Entertainment Television, Something Nice Footwear, Something Nice Entertainment Brand, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere.
Okay. So if you need a movie done, you can go with Nick. If you need some shoes, you can go with Nick. Whatever you need when it comes to entertainment, go with Nick. He got you.
Okay.
Right, Nick?
I love it. Oh, you
Nick
lost
done froze up. Thank you, Nick, so much for being a part of the show.
I appreciate it, brother.
We appreciate you.
Okay,
right, y'all, let's go.
All right, and then in the immortal words of, go ahead and put. All right, so we got. Okay, let me reiterate this. If you do not have your purpose in life is to raise your child with the best ability to be able to raise another child, and so on and so forth, and to be safe and have the confidence to say no to certain things and not be influenced. All these different aspects of the psyche we don't get trained on as parents. We don't get the book on how to be a doctor if they cut themselves. We throw a steak on some stuff, give them bacteria, all kinds of stuff on the eye, and we do all kinds of home remedies that's ridiculous, and have them stand on their head and all kinds of crazy stuff. We don't know how the human brain works in developing from a fetus all the way up to adulthood. About 25 to 30, you're still developing mentally. We don't get a class on this.
I'm gonna say this. It is something that a woman is given when she has a child. I ain't gonna say all women get it, but it's something like we go into motherhood. We know how to nurture our children. We know how to do those things naturally. That's just something that comes natural. Okay. It ain't nothing that has to be. Even a dog can have a baby and raise the dog right.
We don't raise our children like animals raise their children. Animals don't play shit. They will kick them out the nest.
Hold on.
And let me cut in 1 second. Let me say this. I just want everybody as audience and y'all too as well to understand the possibilities. Nothing is excluded. It's about having a solution if the problem do occur, because you could be a best parent. Out of 4 kids, one of them might jump their gate. It's not about saying that I can or I can't. It's about having that solution and being prepared. At what point because I talked to a younger cousin of mine, and he told me that the best thing that he was respected as his bigger cousin getting on him for saying something that he wasn't supposed to say. He said at that point, he never said nothing else, because he was like, if he said that to somebody else, then they might do him the same way. And it was like, go ahead and not terrify your kids, but give them that discipline, that fear that they need, because it's what they're going through as they grow to what they're going to respect once they do get of age to not have that knowledge. Like I say, the things they go through turn us into the people we are. So you have to be able to allow them to go through things, understand that they're going through things, and they're all individuals. Out of the million people in this world, and not one of them the same. So you can't always say how what you do is going to make the next person shit, excuse my French.
Okay, I got you.
Work like
you kind of saying two things that like opposite things at the same time.
No, it's just like I say, it's always a balance. I'm gonna stick on my sign all the time. You can't have it one way. You just can't have it this way or that way. And when people start to understand that, I got to have my solution for whatever the perception may be. You can't.
That's what I was trying to tell Carlos. You can be the best parent, and you've done all that you can do. You can have, like you said, 4 kids. You can have 4 kids, and 3 of them turn out great, and 1 of them turn out bad. It don't have nothing to do with your parenting skills. Sometimes it has to do with their personal choices.
That's not true.
It don't have
that's not true. That's not true. Look, you did something wrong. You just don't want to admit you had anything to do with this child going off the road. Because as a parent, the worst thing
you can be a bad parent and have a good child
that we have to do with this bad ass coming to the world. No, what it is that you didn't know how to handle that situation.
No, what I'm saying is you could be a bad parent and have 4 kids. 3 go bad and 1 be good.
That's not disputed.
It's the same
I'm not saying
thing.
that. That's
It's
not
the
the same
same
thing.
thing.
Listen, let me say something, ma'am.
ahead.
All right,
Yes,
listen.
sir.
I'm not saying that your child, it's impossible for them to be influenced to go in a different way of what they were trained. I'm talking about that. Don't mean you're not supposed to train them. That don't mean you're not supposed to be structured. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
But you can't say that. You can't say that the parents is wrong.
Pam, there's no reason to be talking about this rogue child if you're not complaining about what I'm saying about raising them. What is your purpose of bringing it up?
What I'm telling you is, see, you're not. What I'm telling you is, you can be a good parent and still have a bad child. You can be a bad parent and still have a good child.
We're not talking about that. That's not even the point.
Don't not try. I'm saying you still supposed to try. You still. I
brought up parents being weak, and y'all brought up, oh man, you know you can have a bad child out of that if you like. You're bringing it up like that's supposed to justify the weakness. Oh well, we doing it. You know you can't do nothing about that. That's the attitude. You feel what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is,
we got on that subject.
We got on it because we were talking about what we're feeding our community. And the community starts the community's already, these old heads already what they is. They already in jail, they already screwed in most cases. We're talking about the kids. You did. That's what this whole thing is gonna start with. And we're raising kids who have no structure, who think they're adults, who act like they're adults, who are not checked. I'm talking about an early age. I'm not talking about
and it has nothing to do with being checked, because if you don't see your kids, listen, if you see your kids, and you being a father, you know them kids act a totally different way around you from when you dating around you.
Absolutely.
When you walk out that room, boy, that little baby walk up, muscle up like to talk to that next child like da 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 da. When you walk around,
absolutely,
and they do the same thing out there in the streets. The
absolutely.
Same thing.
But let me ask you
this. That perfect child when you think you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and you just can't speak.
That's the misconception.
So you might as well stop parenting it. What's the point of parenting? Because
the point of parenting is to keep going until it's like parenting is just to keep going until you can't, until it's time to wash your hands. When you wash your hands, that say you done did all you can as a parent. And most people never wash their hands with their child. Some of them do, but you know most of them don't.
Look, this is a true story.
I needed my mama I don't know,
parenting. Bro. I needed my mama to parent me to the day she died. I needed
but some people independent don't even want their parents like that.
Okay, we got to stay on the topic.
We all over the place. Tell me where I'm wrong at. Until the day she died. And then thank God I have family members now keeping me in check. You know what I'm saying? As a loving environment. That's what I'm saying. Feeding me. I'm still getting fed. I'm still getting fed within my community and in my family. When I'm on the wrong track or I'm doing the wrong thing or I say the wrong thing, they check me and they check me on time. In real time.
Y'all, okay. Let me ask you a simple question. Why do you think you turned out with whatever morals that you have right now? No matter what you went out there and did after you got the moral lesson, you only went so far. They anchored you to a certain point. That chain is only going to go so far because you've been programmed to stop at a certain point. I'm not saying you're not going to change once you get to wherever you're going, because then you're going to be free to make certain decisions and tweak it. But you're only going to go so far if you get the right base. Your self-esteem. No man is going to be if your parents did a good job with your self-esteem. No man, no woman is going to make you feel like crap for not taking a sip or wearing the right shoes or whatever. If you raise them with the core values, no matter where they are, they're only going to go so far. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're not going to change. I'm saying get the core hard, the foundation solid, and then even if they try to take off and go to the moon, they're only going to go so far away from what you taught them.
Look. This is what I'm going to say about that. You're right. But now I know why my mom used to always talk about my friends, who your friends are. She wanted to meet them. She wanted to meet their parents. She wanted to meet everything about them. You know why? Because she knew then that my friends may have a bigger influence.
Let me try to get everything back together. Hey, look, Pam, let me try to get everything back together. So the question was, what do we feed the community? We just recapping right quick. What do we feed the community? Now, my question on top of that was, what do you like? What are you trying to feed them? And then the question on top of that was, at what age do we catch them? I'm just trying to show you that where I was going with the question.
2 years old.
It was
okay. So
no, we got to go past 6 now, because like I said, I done got forward. I done did them.
When you say catch them,
I'm living and learning.
To the parents.
That's what I understand. What you saying?
I want to give this is a message that I'm not agreeing
with anybody. I don't care about what they think.
Yes, we do. Look, we are not professionals. Hold on. We are not professionals.
Listen,
we're giving you guys our perspective on what we think. And so what we're thinking is 2 years old is where we're going to start on giving them, catching them.
Maybe one.
But moving forward, if there's something happening past 2, past 6, where we go from there? Because I'm gonna tell you,
I understand that question. That's a different question. Okay, I understand what.
Okay, because I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna go to
a person, I still need my surroundings to feed me, and I'm grown. Okay,
but that's not the question, though. Important. That's not.
But go ahead, Ivy. Go ahead.
No, like I said, I'm trying to follow the thing. What would we feed the community? That was your question, Pam.
Right.
So something else came off of it, and like I said, my question was, at what age do you catch? We talking about the community, so we're not going back to 2 years old. We're going. I want to say 6 or better, to where I can first start teaching you values that's gonna take you somewhere, like cleaning up or doing whatever we're doing this. And now we go until the preteens, maybe 11, maybe between 11 and 13. Catch them somewhere. Now, what do we have to offer the community? You asking me, what do I have to feed the community? At 11 and 13, what do I have to offer them? What is the value that's going to keep them from going left? That's what I'm trying to say. We're talking to our audience. I want them to get the...
It's positivity. They need to see more men like you that's running their own business. Need to see more men like Carlos that's clocking in, going to work 7 days a week. And, sometimes, 6, 7 days a week. They need to see women like me working hard. I ain't out there calling myself a B and whoop, whoop, whoop. They need to hear black men.
Us as being black leaders, us being leaders, we're not going to say black. As us as being leaders, when we see individuals in their age range, I think it's wise for us to speak up and talk to them and give them something to see, because it's only what they'll see that they're influenced by.
Right, that's true. That is true. And let me tell you, when I go to the gym, and I can tell how I can tell, like, when I see a bunch of kids in the same environment or together and they cussing and they acting silly, and the ones that are quick to be quiet and say, "Oh, straighten up," you can tell what kind of foundation they had. Then the ones that don't care, like, "I don't care," you can tell that too. You get what I'm saying? So we got to make sure we check children in real time. Even if they're not ours.
That person that was on the straight path heard something that changed their whole life.
Get mad and want to fight you when you say something to their child. Like, who the hell you are talking to my child?
But don't stop, though, because like I said, it was just something that one person heard that changed their whole life. I'm just saying, like, at what age range should we target them? I feel like, between 11 and 13, as individuals, I'm challenging everybody else who out here is watching them. When you see those individuals between the ages of 11 and 13, say what they might need to hear. You know what I mean? Because everybody's just looking for something to lean on, some way to push forward. We all want to be successful. Give me what I need to hear at an early age, and you never know what I might grow up to be. But that 2-year-old ain't gonna be hearing this. That's what I'm saying. That 2-year-old.
I'm not saying that if a child has not had the foundation and you see that child at a certain age that you don't try to course correct. I've done that. You're talking about mentoring. You're talking about trying to course correct if they're already off course. And they just don't have the goals that they need to have or know the expectations that have the expectations that they should. I'm talking about, okay, first, understand this. Children are way smarter than you think they are. We as parents, we think they're so cute, cuddly, innocent that we think they're not processing what's going on. The lady bringing this man in the house and he a 3-year-old. You think that 3-year-old don't understand on some level? You are wrong. You're dead wrong. If you don't think that 4 or 5-year-old don't understand what's going on, consequences, taking care of themselves. I seen this video of this little boy. He was 3 years old. I always use this example in conversations, but it's in like Mongolia or somewhere like that, and it's an open flame, and there's a wok on the open flame. I'm talking about fire stick and all that, like a fire, and then the wok is sitting on that, and there's a 1 or 2 year old sitting on the rock next to him, and the 3-year-old is mixing up and cooking up the food, and I'm talking about really making a meal. His little brother's sitting there waiting on him, and he's got common sense. Not you know what I'm talking about. What I'm telling you, and everybody can say, "Oh, well, that's just maybe they were super smart or something." No, it's what they're taught. They don't know any different.
Some exceptions to the rule.
I mean,
but go ahead.
I have some exceptions to the rule, but
like I said, I'm just going proactive. I'm not disputing. I'm not to the point where I'm disputing anybody. I'm trying to get proactive. I want, like I say, those who watching us to do something.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Like at that age, they at that crossroad. You done came out of that baby stage, and now it's time for you to feel like an adult.
Okay. Well, it's never too.
What do I just have to?
You still have to look. Structure is structure. When you go, okay, let's look at grown people and in a situation where they're getting new structure after they've been jacked up their whole life. Let's look at the military. All right, which I'm not for the military, I like that crap. But anyway, that's not the point. Point I'm making is that the military does something that parents are supposed to do, and that's give you structure, bedtime, how you supposed to eat, exercise, yes sir, respect, all these different things, and education. These are things that they teach. You can say almost adults, like 18, 19, 20. They course correct these people, and a lot of them, not all of them, like y'all like to say, but
yeah,
a lot of them course correct as adults. You see what I'm saying? They could be criminals, whatever. They go in the military, they get structure because human beings long for structure. You want to know why these kids on Jerry Springer slap the hell out of their grandma and a mama and disrespect them and all this out there? Like, I love you, baby. I gave you everything. And then Big Mama die and everybody lose their crap. You go to Big Mama house, everybody loves Big Mama.
Who all knows that information? Who all knows how to lead and raise well?
Well, that's all we're talking about it. Because, and I'm not saying
what Pam said in the beginning. It's just natural instinct of being a mother. That's all they got. They know how to nurture. That's it.
That's a small part. Caring for your child will get you what you didn't taught, what you don't know will get you past that. But you don't have the structure outside of just their basic needs to be fed and nurtured. And when they cry, I'm not talking about that.
That's what I'm saying though. How do they get structure from those who don't know? Like I say, I'm pretty sure your family stands strong. My family stands strong. Pam, I know your family stands strong. But We're talking to the audience. How do we find them that point?
Okay, so these conversations that we're having right now is a starting point, right? It's a spark in us as parents where we all have to be on the same page. The mom and daddy have to be on the same page. I've been in situations where, and I've seen it over and over again, where one parent can have structure and then they go over this parent house and this parent throws all of that out the window.
Yeah.
Because let me ask everybody's not on the same page.
Now. If I ever get the opportunity to talk with y'all again, I don't want to get to the point where we debating. Let's learn how to build, because it's a lot of things that both of y'all said that I totally agree with. And I'm trying to I want to put my influence on there without saying nothing. But like I say, it's all on that. You heard that phrase, see something, say something. We ain't on the police part of it. I want to actually tell people, when you see that certain age range, tell them something that's going to influence them to do something with their life. Because like you said, military bases, that's a experience. They structure because they went through that experience. Everybody don't get a chance to go through it. Experiences like that to build and to make with somebody. But by you being somebody, if you see somebody, say something. If I see somebody, I'm gonna take it upon myself to say something. Pam, if you see somebody, say something. And we telling people with a voice to tell the same, like I say, just be proactive and do that in our community. It's about how do we feed our community, and that's just my way to feed the community.
Right, and I'm gonna say this too: if you are out there today and you're listening and you're a parent, stop being so defensive when someone says something or try to, talk to your child in a positive manner. Stop being so offensive about it and embrace that as a village trying to love your child. See, we have lost the village. That's another thing too. We have lost the village because we're so angry when someone says something to our children, or when somebody say, "Hey, pull your pants up." You be like, "You don't tell my child to pull her pants up," whatever. I remember when you used to could get whooped from house to house to house, and when you got home for doing something wrong, you got another whooping. See, we have lost that community, that love that we have had in our communities, and we need to gain that back. But saying all that is to say,
so now you agree with me.
I always agree with you, but I'm telling you, it ain't that easy. It's not that easy.
I'm not saying it's easy.
I'm not saying
it's easy.
Speak and say my household gonna be this, and boom. No,
right, exactly.
Nobody's for real.
We're not talking about easy. We're not talking about easy. We're not talking about easy. We're talking about if you want this result, then this is what it's gonna happen. And then you just have to do the research on and decide how you want to make it happen. You don't have to necessarily beat them and all this other stuff. You just have to have a structure, because a human being desires, a child clings to a parent that have given them structure because they feel safe. They feel like they know what's going to happen. They know what to expect. That can be course corrected. A parent's going to learn as you go. I think I seen a Cheerios commercial or something. It's like the first child and they got all this crazy stuff they don't need, and then the second child they just grabbed a bunch of Cheerios at the baby in the shirt and walked out the door. It was, you learn what's good for you as you go. That's true, but you have to want to fine tune it. That you're growing too, like you said earlier. You're growing too. As you grow as a parent, you should be fine tuning. You should be, I don't care if it's reading or deciding how you're going to structure raising this child. That's the answer. Because yes, we can course correct later, but it's way better if you can start out early. Because like I said, the programming starts before the age of 7. And after that, you're hardwired. You are hardwired to whatever negative stuff and self-esteem stuff that you got for your whole life. You're going to be trying to course correct. You're going to be fighting against what you've been programmed. And you might be successful. It looks successful.
We just get some good ideas. Because like I say, some people want to try, they just don't know what to do. You never know like what you
read up on it.
What you might say that, you know what I mean? But you know, black folks don't like to read.
Hey, YouTube it. I'm at the point. I used to read. Man, I used to read like crazy. I don't remember the last book.
It ain't like that's like when that third eye open up. You can't close it. If you see something, say something. I ain't telling you to bother each and everybody in the world. But if you see something, say something.
And your brother, you're talking about mentoring, which is very important.
Guys, this has been wonderful. This has been a great show. The time has went by so fast. It's an hour now. I have really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, because it started out kind of slow.
No, it didn't. It started out good.
It's like a train.
Anyway, so we're gonna let Ivy. We're gonna let you do say your last remarks. What you want to let people know about you. You know, talk about your business. Talk about your perspective about the question, or what you want people to know about this particular subject. And then we'll go with Carlos, and then I end it up.
All right. I just want to say one thing, you know, give everybody that hope or that inspiration they need to believe in yourself. Never what I thought I could do half of the things that I did, but I took a chance. And I, like you say, always bet on yourself, believe in yourself. You do great things. You know, like I say, I offer full details, lawn care, haircut, and all of them. But, you know, believe in yourself, because if I did it, you can do it too.
Okay.
That's right. And you're definitely, just by being the type of guy you are, entrepreneur, you're teaching them lessons. They're seeing Dad be able to make a business during COVID-19, doing all this other stuff. That's, you lead by example is another thing that we never even really talked about is live your life how you want the kids to live their life. We never really hit on that. How important it is to not be a contradiction. Yes, the children's supposed to do, in my opinion, and this is funny that this episode really steers into what I say on every single episode. But we as parents have to decide when we have these kids, even if you didn't get taught, that we all want better for our children. We always say that I didn't have this and that, so we're gonna give our kids that. Well, then start with the structure. Yes, kindness. Yes, control yourself, but you need to have structure. So beat them badass kids. That's all I say.
Hey, like I told you, answer the question. So when I told them that, they told me I took being a dad too far. How was that possible?
They're gonna say that until your child reaps the benefit later, or you in somewhere and they're complimenting you on how respectful your child is and how much upstanding. Then you're not a bad parent anymore. Then it's just stories at Christmas about how, and you know how you got to switch on them, and you know you make that time while his family is there, and you know they're talking about his job, that type stuff. We as parents are gonna take the brunt of it, especially if you're doing what other parents aren't doing, because it makes them feel some type of way. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna leave that. What you got, Pam?
Learning.
Okay, my last words is, you know, I always say we're stronger together. We are stronger together. We are when we have these conversations and we're going back and forth or whatever, we're learning from each other. We're building each other up. We're debating, and hopefully somebody out there is getting something from this conversation, because that's what perspective is all about. It's trying to give our community a voice and find out issues and stuff that's wrong with our community. It's okay to talk about the wrong things that's going on in our community so that we can correct them. So that's what it's all about, is correcting the wrongs and letting each other know that we have your back. Like, stop being so offended when someone's trying to help your child be a better productive citizen, because it's all out of love. So that's all I got to say. We're better together. We're stronger together. And y'all need to watch Perspective every single Sunday at 5:30. Make sure you share this video. Share the video. Let your friends know to come in and watch live and comment and all that good stuff. And Ivy, hold on. Don't go nowhere, even though we're about to go off.
Wait.
Don't you go nowhere. Wait one.